He actually hopped out of the bus in the middle of all this, and he went over and he started snorting ants. We both know you're smarter than me, so. Okay. That's Elton John now, if you can't tell. Since you're so smart. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Glitch in the Matrix. So I got Annie again with me. I don't think I've put a solo video out in almost 2 weeks at this point. So we're rolling pretty good. So we're locked in the house. We don't have a whole lot more to do. Of course, I work from home, so I am doing my day job, obviously. During the day, it's morning time right now, so we're going to get a few of these done. But I'm really curious to see her thoughts on this one because it's such an interesting combo. It's Ozzy Osbourne and Elton John, Ordinary Man. And I've heard the song. I actually did a video on it solo maybe a couple months ago, 2 months ago, sometime between 4 to 6 weeks ago. And it was before the actual video came out. And I have seen a couple of bits and pieces about the video. And I have a feeling that Annie will like this for two reasons. One, because it's much slower, even though it's done by what would be quote unquote, the dark one, Ozzy Osbourne. It's actually much slower. Elton John joins in, and essentially the song is about kind of like he doesn't want to die an ordinary man. And I'll tell you right now, I mean, if he died tomorrow, hopefully that won't happen though. But I'm saying if he did, Ozzy Osbourne will never be considered an ordinary man. I mean, he's just had an extraordinary life, an extraordinary career. And I love the fact that he teamed up with Elton John on this one. And the video itself gave me goosebumps. The pieces that I have seen, it's really kind of him sitting down and watching like a video of all the history of his life and his career and things like that. And it's just so good. And I think out of all the new stuff he's put out, this is without question one of my favorites. I'm kind of curious to see how it translates over to Annie. But again, I never know until we do it. Like I've made so many assumptions over the past few months of things she'll like or not like, and I'm usually okay, but there's been many times where I've been way off and wrong. So I'm curious to see how this one goes, but I'm doing this one for a few reasons. One, because it is just so epic. It's new music. It's new to her, but she does know both of the people involved in it, and I think that's the different part of it. So we're doing a song that she doesn't know, but she does know the people. So anyway, we'll go ahead and dive into it. I think it's I think it's going to be interesting to see how this one turns out, but I'm real excited to see the video from beginning to end. I did see, like I said, pieces of it, but I haven't seen it from beginning to end yet, so it's going to be kind of exciting for me as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive in. Before we do, if you would get out there and subscribe, if you haven't already, we got a big variety on the channel. We got some vlogs coming too. People are starting to enjoy our vlogs, are just kind of one-off conversations about different things, but we'll definitely keep the music coming as well. Don't forget, we also have a $1 a month, $1 a month Patreon account. Exclusive content out there. Annie has full access to it, but outside of that, it really lets us interact a lot closer to the people, to the members out there, as it does on the public channel, because the public channel is swamped with so many comments. It's impossible to get to all of them, which is not a bad problem to have, but it does make it difficult to respond to everybody. But the Patreon, we are really good about getting back to people. Anyway, let's go ahead and move into it. And I'm losing my train of thought, so I'll edit that out. Anyway, let's go ahead and get going on some Ozzy Osbourne and Elton John, Ordinary Man. Ozzy! I already have the chills. It's that fast for this.
I was unprepared for fame, then everybody knew my name. No more lonely nights, it's all for you. I have traveled many miles, I've seen tears and I've seen smiles.
forgot to mention this. The first time I heard this, I kept thinking it was All For You was about Sharon, his wife, but it's actually all for the fans.
Yeah.
So he said when he's saying I did it all for you, it's actually.
Well, I would think because there's like that scene right there.
Yeah, you got it faster than I did because the first time I heard
I
it.
knew it immediately.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
I-
we both know you're smarter than me, so
Okay.
let's keep going.
Don't forget me as the colors fade. When the lights go down, it's just an empty stage.
How'd you not know?
Okay, yes, I've been a bad guy, been higher than the blue sky. And the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. I've made mama cry, don't know why I'm still alive. Yes, the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. Many times I lost control.
That's Elton John.
Tried to
can't
kill
tell.
my rock and roll.
Since you're so smart.
Just remember, I'm still here for you. I don't wanna say goodbye. When I do, you'll be alright. After all,
That was Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads was like 22 years old. It was his best friend. He started playing for Ozzy, I think maybe when he was a teenager. He might have started playing in his 20s, but they were on tour together, and it was his best friend at the time. And everybody was sleeping, like Ozzy and a bunch of the other people that were on tour with him were all sleeping in this trailer, this big trailer while they were on tour. And Randy Rhoads and one of the other people that was on tour with him and this other guy went out, and they were all like doing drugs and cocaine and stuff, and they went out flying in a small engine airplane, like just like a 4-seater airplane, and they started screwing around and started diving at the trailer and doing this, and they ended up crashing and dying, dead. So, and man, it was really hard on Ozzy at the time, and yeah, everybody saw it. They were there when it happened. It wasn't like, you get a phone call and it's like, oh, somebody died of an overdose in a hotel room. They were actually there when it happened, and it really kind of messed him up some. So, and those were pictures of him, and his name was Randy Rhoads. Epic guitar player. Epic. Like, he was on major tours as a teenager. Like high school age, out there on major tours. So, am I saying too much?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
I did it all for you. Don't forget me as the colors fade. When the lights go down, it's just an empty stage. Okay, yes, I've been a bad guy, been higher than the blue sky. And the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. I've made mama cry, don't know why I'm still alive. Yes, the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. Yes, I've been a bad guy, been higher than the blue sky. And the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man. I've made mama cry, don't know why I'm still alive.
He had a terrible accident on a 4-wheeler. I can't remember when it was, maybe 10 years ago. Like, people didn't think he was going to pull through at one point, and that's actually that's actually it. I mean, it was really scary. Like his daughter was crying and freaking out. I mean, it was a really big deal. Just so you kind of know what's going on there.
Yes, the truth is I don't wanna die an ordinary man.
Well, one thing we know for sure, as I mentioned, it doesn't matter what happens, Ozzy will never die an ordinary man. There's a story before we get into the song. There's one more story I wanted to share with you. They went on tour with Motley Crue way back in the 80s, and him and Nikki Sixx. Him and Nikki Sixx, that might be in the way of your face, actually started having like a gross out contest and kept trying to top each other doing the craziest things they could possibly do. And at one point, and there's worse than this, but I'm not going to get into the worse than this, but one thing that'll be shocking to you is he actually hopped out of the bus in the middle of all this, and he went over and he started snorting ants. It's crazy.
Oh, that hurts me.
So he's surprised he's alive and he's been higher than the blue sky. Yeah, it's nuts. He's lived 20 lifetimes, with everything that he's done. That's so nuts. But the first time I did this, there was no video to it. It was only the song, and it's so freaking good. But the video, oh my gosh, man, the video, for me, it drives it home. Like I sat through the whole thing with chills, but I know that, for you have varying opinions on all of this stuff. It's, two people that you did not grow up with from a singer perspective. What are your thoughts on this in the video?
Oh, I absolutely loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I loved it. I know I may not have seen. I'm just really exhausted.
No, I know you're a little out of it and not feeling well. Half the house is sick right now, and no, it's not. What did you do?
Corona.
It's not. We've all been battling something for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, no, I really liked how they did the video too, with him watching his entire life.
It's so
and,
good. Talking about it just giving me chills, man. I love this stuff.
Everything he's accomplished, and this song ties it all together.
Did you? I mean, so let me ask you from a song perspective. So you really like the song too?
Oh yeah, I would listen to it. Add to my playlist.
Add to your playlist. All right, guys, we have another winner. It's not often that we get these where she walks away saying, "I'll add that to my playlist." And the thing is listening to just the song by itself is so epic alone, but putting it with that video, it's just I can't even stop. I'm just I don't know why. It does. It's so freaking amazing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a winner. Again, for those of you new to the channel, we don't have a lot of winners with Annie. This was a hit, and this was kind of a last minute addition for me. This one wasn't on my radar recently, but I thought we would do it, and I'm glad we did. Anyway, stay tuned. We got a whole lot more coming. Got some vlogs coming as well. Big variety out there. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget our $1 a month Patreon account. Ignore the sounds in the background. Ignore the person behind the curtain. Somebody mentioned that about your mom the other day. They're like, ignore the voice behind the curtain because nobody's ever seen her before or heard her. Anyway, please get out there, subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching this one.